When I was growing up, if I was having a bad day or if I didn't feel like I was mentally able to go to school or just do everyday task, try to verbalize that. But whenever you try to tell your parents that you just don't feel like going to school, it just makes you sound like you're lazy, and then they'll criticize you. But I think it's important for people to learn how to accept mental health as something that is very real and very important, because it does affect us on a daily basis. I'm feeling depressed and I feel like no one can see me physically being depressed. So I need to physically show my depression. People only understand emotions on a physical level, and in that way it can be really hard for people with mental illness to say, I need a day off or I need to take some time to myself, because it's something that other people can't see. Mental illness is defined in my mind. It's when something inhibits your ability to do an everyday task. So I think that's where you should draw the line, and if it's constant and if it's consistent, that's what having anxiety is, versus someone who feels anxious, like, oh, I feel a little jittery because I'm going to give a speech, or oh, I feel a little jittery because I have a test next period. When I hear people say that they're depressed and they're not, because depression's really hard to deal with. But on the other hand, I kind of get it, because people don't always understand the weight of the words that they're saying. People have different mental health experiences, and that you shouldn't put labels on other people's mental health experiences because of what you've felt through your own. I don't ever want to hear someone say, I'm having a panic attack, and have it not be legitimate, because I will immediately go into fight or flight mode, and I'll immediately try to figure out, okay, how can I help this person get out of this situation and into a better place? And if they're not having a panic attack, I'm gonna punch them in the face, because that is not something you should be saying. And just because I take anxiety really seriously after seeing someone actually have a panic attack, they're real and they are very painful for the people who go through them. So it's not something to take lightly to say that you're having an anxiety attack or you're having a panic attack, because for those people who do have panic attacks, they need people to know how important it is for them to be removed from the situations they're in that are inducing it. I think of feeling trapped. I think of hating my parents. I think of hating myself. I think of PTSD almost, right? Because you'd say that if you have had experience with depression, I think, because you're coming from a place where it's reminiscent for you. I think of people who don't really know you but have authority over you. Like they don't understand how much something means to you or how much something affects you, but they see that it bothers you and they're like, it wouldn't bother me if it was happening to me, so why does it bother you? I thought of Prozac as something that would control or influence my behavior in a way that I wouldn't be fully myself. I've been suffering from depression all my life, and I would write a lot. Like I said, I wrote because it just was my way of venting out my feelings, and I feel like a lot of people with depression and a lot of people with mental illness turn to creative routes to try to ease their emotional burdens because it's helpful to be able to have creative outlets. When I was in my late middle school years, my mom was dying. It was hard to see a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I didn't want to live anymore because I was just tired, and I was getting bullied at my school. I think that's when I really started cutting after all that beating up stuff happened. I guess I've always sort of been like a hopeful person. So I wanted to believe that life was going to get better because that's what everybody told depressed people on the internet, and that I was going to have a happy adulthood away from all this chaos in my life.